What's up, YouTube?
Take the second right onto Cross Road,
Hold on,
then continue
guys.
straight
Hold
onto
on,
New
guys.
Orangeburg Road.
This your girl Hannah B, the cargo van chick, and today is Tuesday, October the 21st, 2025, and I am on my way to my drop-off in Lexington, South Carolina. Picked it up from a hospital downtown Charleston. It's probably some prescription, some meds, something like that, probably. I don't even know. But anyway, today I want to talk about wants and needs. We all want money. You know, we all want to be successful. We all want more than what we have. But what do you really need in life, in business, as far as money concerned? So I want to talk about that more today, because over this past weekend I had to make some decisions, and if it was last year, the decisions would have been very easy. But this year, the decisions are hard, and it shouldn't be hard because there's a want and there's a need. So I'm gonna talk about that once I drop this off. But I just want to tell you about my weekend. Saturday, I had a Zifty order, $65, 15 miles, going to a car dealership. It was very, very easy. I didn't have to set it up. They just, as soon as I walk in the door, they grabbed the bags, like they were hungry or something. So they grabbed the bags out my hand. So that was easy. And then I went and did 2 shop and delivery orders. They were $20 a piece. I was trying to make $125 Saturday. I ended up a little bit short, couple of bucks short. It wasn't that short. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that short. It was, I think I needed like 20 more bucks or something like that. But anyway, it was a lot of traffic Saturday for that No Kings protest. I didn't even know anything about it. I just see all these people and all this traffic, and I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going on? Like, what are all these people doing out here? So I went and I Googled, you know, what was going on in the city, and that's when he was talking about the No Kings protests all over the United States. And so it was just so much traffic, I couldn't get in and out. I had Uber turned on, and I told you guys I just recently got accepted for DoorDash. I had that turned on, but it was just so hard to get in and out of places with all the traffic all over the place. I just turned them all off and I went home. I had already planned on taking my son to the movies in the park. It's something that they just started. I think this past weekend was the first weekend. And they have movies out in the park. They have games for the kids to play, food trucks out there. So I took him out there. The movie of that night was Ghostbuster. And he's 6, so he's never seen Ghostbuster before. I haven't seen it in years either. He watched it, but he wasn't really into it. And I'm like, you're not into this? He was like, it's okay. But, you know, he's more of he liked dinosaur movies like Jurassic Park and he liked King Kong movies. He liked those type of movies. So Ghostbusters to him was not really hitting for him. But he did have a good time. He played the games they had out there. And he loves coconut icy, so I got him a coconut icy. Afterwards, we went out to dinner and we ate. And then Sunday, I already told him I wasn't going to work Sunday. I said, we're not going to work Sunday. You know, we're just going to kind of hang out. Maybe take him out to the park, have family day or whatever. So Sunday, I kind of did some admin stuff, trying to knock some more of those checks down, put my checks in QuickBooks and upload my receipts and my mileage and stuff. And then we went to the park, let him play on the park for a little while. And I had gotten a phone call to go to Myrtle Beach. So this is the reason why I want to touch back on this subject after I drop this off. Because I had to make a decision whether to take it or not. You know, do you guys think I took it? Or do you guys think I turned it down? So we're about to be at our... and once I drop this off and get back, we will touch back on that subject. Let me see. Let's find the address, because you guys know I'll fly by address in a heartbeat. Alright. Alright guys, be right back in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. That didn't take about a second to drop off. Matter of fact, she was just getting out of her car when I pulled up with the kids. Looked like she was just getting home from picking them up from school or something. So that was really, really good timing. So let's touch back on what I wanted to talk about as far as, you know, needs and wants. Sunday, like I said, we just got to the park. I promised my son I was going to take him out, you know, let him run around and have some fun for a couple of hours. And I mean, I got there literally maybe 10 minutes. And I got a call from my contract wanting to know, you know, could I go to Myrtle Beach? If this was last year, I would have went. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have been like, well, guys, we gotta go. You know, I have to go do this. I need to make this money. It wouldn't have been no question. I would have went. I would have cut the playtime short, and I would have promised him to take him a different day. A lot of things has progressed for me, and a lot of my wants and needs have changed. Do I still need to make a certain amount of money every day or every week or every month? Yes. Do I still need to let me see, I'm just trying to figure out the word. Do I still need to create more business? Yes, I do. I mean, I keep my wheels turning every day. And if I can get at least 2 or 3 jobs a day to make my quota, or a little bit over my quota, yes, I still have to do that. And in order to do that, I have to create more business for myself. Do I want to always disappoint my son or my family or me? No. So now, to be honest with you guys, being that my income has changed, being that my debts have changed, like I said, I have paid off almost $10,000 worth of debt that I have created with this business. As far as my van breaking down 3 times since I've had it. Not the fault of the van, because I bought my van brand new. It was my fault. It was little dumb things that I did. So I paid for it. I mean, I had to pay for it. I had to max out all of my credit cards, my bank cards. I maxed every one of them out. Having to pay for gas, having to pay for repairs, having to buy tires, having to oil changes, paying my bills. So from last year to this year, a lot has changed. And I might have paid out more than $10,000 to be honest, because the 3 times that my van broke down, that by itself was almost 10 grand. One of them was like 5,000. The other one was like almost 3. And I had to buy tires since I had that van, I think once, but I get all changes like every 3 to 4 months on the van. You know, other little minor things done, filters and stuff like that. And then I also had my car that I had to get tires for, all changes for. I'm getting ready to get a tune-up on it sometime next week. But anyway, so I probably paid back almost maybe close to more than maybe 14,000, 15,000 so far. So between last year and this year, I have more money freed up now. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry, guys. That was a text. Wanted me to go to Hendersonville, North Carolina. Yeah, I can't do that today. Anyway, so like I was saying, a lot of stuff changed. My income has changed. I'm making way more money now than I did when I first started. I have less debt to pay now than I did when I first started. So I don't have to take every opportunity that comes my way. Now I can say yes or I can say no. It's kind of, you know, up to me. It's kind of up to my circumstances. It's kind of up to, you know, what I tell my family or my kid or myself that I want to do. I used to work 7 days a week, sometimes all day when I first started out. I mean, literally for the first, I would say, because I started in April, so I've been in business April, May, June, July, August, September, October, a year and 6 months. So I would say maybe a year and 2 to 3 months. I worked 7 days a week, almost every day. This past 3 months, since I dropped my carrier company and I got more into the medical field. I'm making more money now. It's like, and I'm able to pay off more of my debt now, being that I'm making more money. Not all the time do I have to be out here all day. I can do 1 or 2 jobs. I can make my quota and I can go home at a reasonable time, before 6 o'clock, sometime 5 o'clock. It kind of just depends, you know. Sometimes if I get finished real early, I'll go home, I turn on Uber, I'll do Uber Eats, I'll do shopping. Like I told you guys, I just started doing shopping delivery. I'll do that. I maybe do a couple of rodeo orders. Kind of just depends on the rate of the order. If it makes sense to me, I'll do it to make, you know, a couple extra $100 or $120, whatever the case may be. I might do that a couple of days a week, just to secure that I'm going to make whatever I need to make for that week. You know, because I may make good money today, tomorrow, but the next day I might not make as much. So if I made extra on Monday and Tuesday doing Uber or Roadie or whatever gig app is out here, just say that Wednesday I didn't make that much. That Monday and Tuesday extra money that I did make would help secure that. But in this business, I mean, I don't care if you're doing gig apps all day. I don't care if you doing this full time. If you're in a cargo van, box truck, it don't even matter what you're in. If you're in a transportation space, and it's like you have to make time for yourself. You got to make time for your family. Everything ain't always going to be about work or making money. You know what I mean? Like, we have to figure out what our wants and our needs are, because sometimes we get caught up so much into making the money, and sometimes it's so easy to make the money that, you know, that's all we concentrate on is making the money. And for me, to be honest with you, it's very easy for me now. It's like so easy now. I don't have to do this bidding system thing like I did with the carrier companies and hope that I win it and all this other stuff. Like, just recently, I would say maybe like the last month or 2, I've been having pre-scheduled work. Like, I've already been texted today about doing a round trip tomorrow. Yesterday, I already was told about this. But I had to go to the doctor this morning because, to be honest with you, she had 2 runs for me. She had one early this morning, and then she had this one that was picking up at 12, no later than 12:30. So I couldn't do the early morning one because I had a doctor's appointment. And I'm not gonna lie, normally I would have canceled that doctor appointment. I would have been like, I can't, I gotta reschedule or whatever. But I was like, you know what? My health is more important than money. My health is more important than this business, because without my health and strength, I can't do this business. I can't make money. I mean, literally, for real. Even when I had a 9 to 5, it's been times that, you know, I didn't feel good or I needed to go to the doctor, and I would put it off and put it off and put it off till one day I landed myself in the hospital. And the doctor literally told me that he was surprised that I even made it to the hospital. That just, you know, how bad, you know, my health got for me. My blood pressure, I was diagnosed with being pre-diabetic. So, you know, it's like, now I'm more focused on me, my family, my health, you know, my strength, and us enjoying life. Like, what's the sense of being out here doing this every day, all day, if you're not going to enjoy life? You know, you're just working. You're working every day. You're not really reaping the benefits from it. Your family is not reaping the benefits of it. Like, you're just working. Like, no, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to do that no more. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's times that, like on the weekends, like I say, I like to have Sundays off. 1 second, I got another text. So, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, when I was at the doctor's office this morning, my phone kept, and I mean, I turned everything down because, you know, I didn't want my phone ringing and everything else in the doctor's office, but, you know, he could hear the vibration, and I had it real low. And he was like, seems like you're missing a lot of money today. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I mean, it kept like going off and off and off. And I mean, I looked at it the first couple of times, and then after that, I was like, I'm just going to stop looking at it. I just literally just turned the volume down, all the way down, so I didn't even hear it. Because, you know, it bothers you that you got these offers coming in and that you can make this money, and it's like it makes you want to be like, well, can we just reschedule this another day? Or, I have to leave. How long is this going to take? But at the same time, like I said before, without your health and your strength, you won't be able to do this work. You won't be able to be out there every day to make the money that you need to make. So I just turned it. Oh snap! I gotta go to the left. Dang it. Anyway, we won't be out here to make this money if you I think I can go straight. Yeah, I can go straight cross. Yeah, I can go straight. Anyway, so I just turned the volume down. I ain't even gonna lie. I turned the volume all the way down, and I just ignored it because the old me would have been like, I gotta leave, I gotta go, I gotta make this money, whatever. I just choose to if I make my quota today, I do. If I don't make my quota today, I don't. That means tomorrow I just have to do extra to make it. Like today, I won't make my quota today. This was 118 miles. I got paid $175. I didn't get out of the doctor's office until I think it was 11:30, and I had to supposed to pick this up at 12, no later than 12:30. I think I got there at 12:15. So by the time I get back, it's going to be 4:30. I need to shoot to the office to pick up whatever I got to pick up for this round trip in the morning. By the time I get to her office, get back up in my area, it's going to be after 5. It might be about 5:30, because I'm going to run into that traffic, and it's going to take me a minute to get up in my area. By the time I do that, I'm probably going to go home, because I have to cook dinner and everything tonight. My other half, they work tonight, so I always make sure I'm home to cook dinner for them to take food to work. The place they work at, it has a big cafeteria and everything like that, but sometimes they don't want to eat the cafeteria food. So I try to make sure I have dinner cook. If I don't have dinner cook, I'll go out and buy something, or they'll go buy something for the family, like that. But so like today, I won't make my quota, but it don't bother me. It would have bothered me last year. It would have bothered me maybe 5 months ago. It would have bothered me, because I would have been like, I gotta make more money. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Those 2 calls that came in, I would have went and done it. But if I did it, I know I would have been crunched for time trying to get home. I probably would have got home right at 9 o'clock when they're supposed to be leaving out the door at 9 o'clock. So I don't have to do that no more. So basically, you guys got to set yourself up. I understand everybody is having money problems. I understand everybody is having some sort of a debt problem. But make a plan. I made a plan. I wrote down all my bills from high to low. I add each one of them onto my calendar on my phone. I got a notepad, and I made a strategic strategy. I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay off my bills from low to high. And I started doing Uber more. I started doing roadie more. And I took that money that I made on those 2 platforms. It didn't even matter what it was. It could have been $100 that I made for that week. It don't really even matter. Whatever I made, I paid toward that lowest bill until I paid that bill off. Then I went to the next bill, and I did the same thing. So I would try to make at least $300 a week on doing Uber and roadie, because I really didn't have time to do it a lot. I would do it a couple of hours, maybe 3 days a week. Or I may do roadie, kind of my spare time type thing in between runs or whatever. So I wasn't really making that much on roadie a week either. Maybe extra $100, $150 maybe. So if I just say I made $300 that week, I took that $300, I put it on that bill, and I did that till it paid off, and then I did the next thing, and the next one, and the next one, until I paid off, like I said, almost $15,000 of debt. I still have a lot of debt. Right now, I have all the credit cards that I told you guys I maxed out. That's all I got left. I have like 7, I think I have 6 or 7 credit cards that are maxed out. So I'm going to do the same thing with the credit cards. Only thing I'm going to do different with the credit cards, I'm going to take the 3 lowest credit cards, and I'm going to add the how much I pay on the monthly. So just say if I pay $50 on one, $30 on one, $100 on one. That's $180. I'm gonna take that $180 plus what I owe, as far as just say the lowest one is $30 a month. That $180 plus that $30, I'm gonna put it on that card, and I'm gonna continue to do that till I pay that card off. Then I'm gonna go to the next card, and I'm gonna take that $180 plus that $30 plus, just say the other one is $50 a month plus that $50. I'm gonna take that money and put that on that card. So I'm just gonna keep doing that until I knock those 3 out. Then I'm gonna go to the next set of 3, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the first set of 3. And I give myself a year to have these cards paid off. I got 3 ones that are high. I mean, they're like over $2,000 each. Like, I think one is like 26, one is like 25, one is like 18. So that's gonna take me some time. So I give myself a year to have all my credit card debt knocked out. I'm going to keep 3 of the cards, because one of them is my business credit card, and then I have 2 really good ones. So I'm going to keep the 3 highest, with those other ones I'm just going to pay them off. I'm not going to close them out, because if you close them out, that hurts your credit. So I'm just going to kind of leave them open, just maybe use them, pay it off right quick type stuff, so it can show that, you know, I'm using the cards type stuff. But you guys got to come up with a plan in order to get debt free. When January 1st hit, I said this is going to be my debt free year. I call it debt free 2026. Because this is going to be my debt-free year. 2026, I don't want to have no debt. Only bills I want to have is my household bills that I have to pay every month. And, you know, I set goals for myself. Every week I set a goal. You know, every week I set a goal. I'm going to make this amount. I'm going to make this amount. I'm going to continue to research. You know, I never did shopping delivery. I started doing shopping delivery because I figured whatever I can do to add more income to my business, add more income to the income I have coming in, I'm going to do it. I signed up for Grubhub. I got approved for that recently. I just got off the wait list. I've been on the wait list for a while, a year probably. DoorDash, I just got off the wait list. I haven't done them yet. I'm so stuck on Uber. I love doing Uber Eats, and now that I'm doing the shopping delivery, I love doing that too. Just seems like the app is so easy to use. I did turn on DoorDash. DoorDash is kind of confusing as far as the app. I just got to maybe do a couple of them and get familiar with the app. I haven't done a Grubhub order yet. And I know that you guys are probably saying, they don't pay anything, they don't pay anything. But I'm looking at what I can do to make money in my downtime. You know, in between runs. Like if I get back home right now, and if I didn't have to go home and cook, like I would have probably, you know, turned on Uber Eats, and I would have did that, a couple of shopping delivery orders, till maybe about 7:30. 8 o'clock, and then get home if I didn't have to rush home to do that. And the only reason I have to rush home to do that is because, you know, they work at night. So they sleep till a certain time, then they got to go pick my son up. And then it's like they be with him until a certain time, then they take a nap before they go to work. So they really don't have time to cook and do all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you know, we kind of helping each other out type thing. So that's what I do to try to, you know, eliminate this debt that I have. You know, like I say, it's not anybody's fault. It's my fault. I jumped into this, not really. I did research. I did look at all these YouTube videos that come to find out were a bunch of freaking lies. Until I actually, you know, got into it myself and created, you know, what I feel is the lane that is best for me. But before that, you know, listen to these videos, listen to these content creators, and it just was not what they said it was going to be. So I learned the hard way. I jumped to this. I learned the hard way, and now, you know, it's like I do appreciate that. I'm not even gonna lie. I appreciate that I had to go through the things that I had to go through, because if I didn't have to go through it, I would not have known what it would have been to have to struggle to get to where I need to be. You know how some people say they get it out the mud. You know, they got it out the mud. I can truly say I got my business out the mud. Like everything that's coming towards me now, I got it out the mud. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, for the first year and like 3 months, I worked, and every dime I made went towards a bill. Like I didn't have money to buy anything for myself, and you know, it was times that my son asked me for certain things, and you know, I was like, I can't get it. I had to, you know, you gotta ask the other parent to do it, because I can't. And you know, know, that hurt me to do that because, you know, I never did want to have a child. And you know, I know kids can't have everything that they want. You know what I mean? I know that. I couldn't have everything I wanted coming up. You know, my parents gave me the best that they could. They gave me what they could afford to give me. I mean, I got my first job at 15 because I wanted my own money. I wanted to buy the things I wanted to buy. But I mean, we never went hungry. Our lights were never cut off. We never got put out. You know, I had both parents in my household. My dad was self-employed ever since I mean, he worked. Don't get me wrong, but once he got a certain age and he retired, he got his retirement check and everything. He still worked, but he was self-employed. So, you know, it's like we never wanted for the things that we needed, not the things that we wanted, the things that we needed. So it's like the things that my son wanted was not a need. So for me, I'm like, you know, I can't get that because that's not something you need. It's something you want. So I can't get that right now. So it was like plenty of times that I mean, like I said, every dime I made went towards some sort of a bill. And then, like I said, my spouse, they kept a job because they were like, somebody have to have a job. We both can't do this right now. Because I wanted it to be like both of us, you know, getting into the business together. Whereas at first, we would be together a lot. We would be on the road a lot. Because both of us got laid off. My job closed down. Me, her, my niece, my nephews, a bunch of us. I had a bunch of them working here. And they closed down the business and they opened a business someplace else. So everybody got laid off. So it's like, at first we both were trying to do it in the same cargo van, and it didn't really work like that. So she was like, I got to get a job. You know, somebody got to have a job. Until I could have, you know, get some contracts for both of us to be able to, you know, maneuver with the contracts. And then they still keep their job at night. So that's how we ended up doing this. Now, what I'm trying to do now is secure a couple of more contracts. That way, it'll be enough work for the both of us, so that they wouldn't have to work at night. You know, they just be doing the contracts in daytime at a certain time, and then that's it. So sometimes, you know, you have to put, you know, your needs before your wants. You know, it's been plenty of times that I wanted to take a trip or I wanted to travel someplace, and I just could not do it. I mean, it's been times, you know, people be like, well, if you want to come up for a holiday or whatever, I'm like, I can't afford it. I can't do it. But now, you know, like I said, since January, and I started, you know, I got my little pad, and I started just making a plan, you know, and everything has been really working out. I mean, really working out to the point now, it's like, I mean, I can pay my bills, like, in 1 week's pay. I can pay my bills for maybe like 2 weeks at a time now. Sometimes 3 weeks at a time. It just kind of depends. You know what I mean? So everything is just getting so easy now for me, to the point that even though I'm having this extra money, even though I'm having weeks where I may have to pay, like this week, my bills came out to $295. Like, I made that between yesterday and today. You know what I mean? Like, but that don't mean that I'm gonna sit home the rest of the week because I already made that money, I'm gonna sit home. No, I'm still gonna continue to grind. I'm still gonna continue to be out here to hustle and get this money, because, you know, just because I'm having it I'm having it good right now, that don't say next week might be good. You know, anything can happen, and you know, I can have an issue, a vehicle issue. I hope not. God, please don't let that happen. But anyway, and I'm gonna have to kick out more money, so I have to keep it going. You know what I mean? I gotta keep it going. So I just wanted to kind of touch with you guys on that. You know, sometimes you gotta put your needs before your wants. Sometimes you gotta put yourself and your family and your kids before, you know, money. You know, because money is the root of all evil, for one thing. If you use it the wrong way, it's the root of all evil. You know, sometimes I know we got to get out here and we got to work, and we still got to try to do this gig economy for extra money, or be doing it full time, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes we have to take that time off for ourselves. You know, sometimes you got to take that time off for our kids and our family. We can't always just assume that everybody is okay, because sometimes everybody is not okay. You know, sometimes doing this all day, every day can ruin relationships. You know, and you can look around and your kid could be 5, and the next thing you know, your kid is 10 years old on you, and you don't even know where the time went at. Why? Because you're out here. Why? Because you're busy. Why? Because you're not paying attention to things that's going on in your face. You're not paying attention to it at all. So I turned down that job Sunday. I turned it down. And I've never, ever turned down a job from any of my contracts. I've always, made it work. And to the point that he called back and was like, did you say you couldn't do that? And I was like, yeah, I told you I just got to the park. Like, my son just started playing. So that's something I cannot do. I can't do it. You gotta find somebody else. You gotta find somebody else. And, like I said, my spouse was like, you can do it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I promised him we was going to have family day, and we're going to have family day. I mean, what's for me is for me. What's for me got my name on it. Obviously, this may not have been for me today. It may have been for somebody else today. I can't make all the money. You understand what I'm saying? I can't make it all. I mean, I don't care what industry you're in. You can't make it all. It's going to be a time that you got to say no. It's going to be a time that you got to say, I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, I did that one run to Georgetown. And I came back, and I think I got back like early. I got back at 11:30, I think. And I just went straight home. I went straight home. My son had a conference at school, it was not really at school, it was over the phone. While he was in school, the teacher had a conference with me over the phone. And there was some things that he needed to work on as far as, learning how to count up to 50, learning how to say certain words. My son has a speech impediment, so he also takes speech classes in school. I'm the type of parent that, we're both the type of parents that, if he needs any kind of special care or treatment, we make sure that he gets that. So he has took speech therapy in school. That's one of his classes. So what I did yesterday, got home and I bought him a bunch of flashcards a couple of months back. So I dug those out and kind of went over the flashcards, and I told him, like, we're gonna do this on a daily basis. I mean, maybe about an hour a day. We're gonna go over these flashcards, these numbers, these letters. Learning how to spell cat, dog, rat, whatever. Like I said, he's 6, he's in kindergarten. So just kind of helping the teacher out, because we can't all put everything on the teachers. They should be doing their job. Like, as a parent, we have to do our job too. We have to do our job when it comes to our kids. We can't put everything on the school, or we can't put everything on the teacher, because a lot of stuff needs to be taught at home. So when they get to the school, it makes the teacher's job much easier. So that's what I did yesterday. I got home early enough, and there was a lot of opportunities coming out yesterday. My phone was going off the hook again yesterday, but I didn't even bother, because I'm like, this is more important. And I know sometimes, it's like sometimes your back be against the wall, because I've been there, and you feel like, seem like the more you do, is like nothing is working out. The more money you make, it's like not enough. But I'm just gonna let you guys know that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You just have to stay focused. You got to stay motivated. You got to keep your wheels turning. You got to keep adding more and more and more business to your repertoires. I don't care if it's gig apps. I don't care if it's contracts. I don't care if it's dedicated routes. I don't care what it is. Like, keep your wheels turning. Keep more and more opportunities coming your way. And come up with a strategy. Come up with a plan to get rid of, like, your debt. Come up with a plan to, start saving money. Even if it's just $50 a week, slide it over into your savings account. Slide it over to your savings account. And the more you're out of debt, the more you can slide into your savings account. Once you get a certain amount of money saved, then you can decide whether you want to invest that money into a maybe a Roth IRA, or maybe some stocks, or maybe create another form of passive income. You got a lot of people now that are entrepreneurs that took their hobby and turned it into a business. You got a lot of people out here that's doing t-shirts. I know one young lady, she knits hats and knits pocketbooks and stuff, and she turned her hobby into a business. You know, another young lady that I know on Facebook, she's a friend of mine, she came up with a crab dip sauce for, you know, your seafood lovers. She got a garlic butter one, she has a mayonnaise-based one, and I mean, she has started to supply all the seafood restaurants in our area. I think 5 so far. She's giving them like 3 cases a week. I mean, she's selling out. So take your hobby and try to create a sort of passive income. You know, once I can get more free time and I can have, you know, more downtime, I'm going to create a passive income for myself, you know, with a couple of hobbies that, you know, I have a few hobbies that I know would make some money. So I'm going to figure out which one I want to go with first and, you know, try to make a passive income out of it. I don't care if it generates a lot of money. I don't care if it generates hardly no money, but it's something that I like to do. So whether I make money with it or not, it don't even matter. You know, I'm hoping that it will take off. I'm hoping that eventually it would, you know, create a great source of income. But at the end of the day, if it don't, it don't. It's a hobby. It's called a hobby. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's it for today, guys. Like I say, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to go to the office and pick up the paperwork, and I think I'm picking up the tracker for this pharmacy in the morning, and then I'm probably bringing it back, dropping it off to the airport. So I'm going to be doing that. Then I'm probably going to go home. Well, I know I'm going to go home, and then I'll be back out tomorrow morning. I got to be in Orangeburg at 9:30, so that's a very early start. I should get back to Charleston around 10:30, 11, and that's early. So I know tomorrow I can at least get 2 more runs after that to make up for yesterday and today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. So just kind of taking some of the things I said. You don't have to listen to everything I said. You guys are growing. Just kind of make your own choices and decisions in life. But just kind of wanted to kind of give you guys more insight on, you know, what's been going on with me, and how I have been handling a lot of stuff. So just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel. I've been getting a couple of more subscribers. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I want to thank everybody for watching the videos, finding them useful, liking and commenting. I want to try to bring more and more content. I want to try to bring more and more companies to you guys. Like I told you, I'm not the type of person with the gig app stuff. You know, you can go to anybody's channel and learn about gig apps, but not a lot of channels let you guys know what companies are out here. Not only with medical courier or, you know, in the transportation space, like anything that could make you guys some money. So I'll see you guys in the morning. You guys have a great afternoon. Peace out. Once again, it's your girl Hannah B, the cargo van chick. All right.